He's saying go away.
You're saying nothing. I think you did.
Okay. Is she saying nothing by killing herself? Why is she killing herself right now? Addie?
To save him.
To save him. Very good. She is saying, okay, someone needs to warn you. Everyone here is waiting to kill you. The only way I can warn you is by doing what? The only thing I have is, remember, she wiggled around. She could only get one finger on the trigger. So though she never actually told him out loud that she loved him, she does love him because she's willing to sacrifice herself to save him. Yes, sir.
Couldn't she move the barrel or something?
Now, remember they said they had it strapped to her, and she got her, wiggled her hands around, and all she got was one finger on the trigger, and she just stayed there. All right, so we're back to the highwayman now. He turned, he spurred him westward. He did not know who stood, bowed with her head o'er the musket, drenched with her own red blood. Not till the dawn he heard it, and slowly blanched to hear how best the landlord's daughter, the landlord's black-eyed daughter, had watched for her love in the moonlight, and died in the darkness there. Back he spurred like a madman, shrieking a curse to the sky, with the white road smoking behind him, and his rapier brandished high. Blood red were his spurs in the golden noon, wine red was his velvet coat, when they shot him down on the highway, down like a dog on the highway, and he lay in his blood on the highway, with a bunch of lace at his throat. Okay.
So you shot him too?
They shot him. When he hears the shot, the warning shot, he doesn't know who it is, and he turns and flees. Then the next morning, somebody tells him, it was Bess. She killed herself to save you. So then he gets mad. But what I want you to notice is, remember back to the first part of the story, when it says he was twinkling, he had a twinkling eye, because he was going to see his girlfriend.
And pistol.
He had pistols, and he had a sword. Now he's coming back to fight the redcoats. They're there. They're in the middle of the road. We know they all have muskets and rifles. Does he choose his pistols? What does he choose?
His sword.
His sword. Okay. Think about that and then raise your hand and tell me why you think he came to a gunfight, though he has guns, and he chose a sword instead of the guns he had.
How was the skill story again?
We're going to get to it. Ooh, good.
I did fucking bird.
Okay, we have a good answer here. It's a more honorable way of fighting. That's one good answer. Shane?
He wants to die.
He wants to die. Rachel Beth, was that yours? Yeah. Was he coming to defend himself for just a fight? Or was he coming to defend her honor? Yeah. He was coming back to say, you killed my girl. It's on. But
He's a
did he know?
gentleman.
That's what surprises us, isn't it? Out of all the people in the story, the robber turns out to be the gentleman. He dresses like a gentleman. Does he treat her with respect? When she's in the window, he's not like, get down here, woman. Give me a kiss. Okay, no. He just talks to her and says, you know what? I don't have much time. I'll be back tomorrow. I'm going to bring money. She lets down her hair. He gives a little kiss, and he's off. And then when he hears about her, he's so distraught, he comes back and says, she died for me, I'll die for her. So here we come to the ghost part. So the whole first part of the story is leading up to who becomes the ghost. And still of a winter's night, they say when the wind is in the trees, when the moon is a ghostly galleon, tossed upon cloudy seas, when the road is a ribbon of moonlight over the purple moor, a highwayman comes riding. A highwayman comes riding up to the old inn door. Over the cobbles he clatters and clangs in the dark inn yard, and he taps with his whip on the shutters, but all is locked and barred. He whistles a tune at the window, and who should be waiting there but the landlord's black-eyed daughter, Bess the landlord's daughter, plaiting a dark red love knot in her long black hair. So basically they say, what happened to the inn after this? What would we say? We wouldn't want to go there because it's haunted. And they said at night, you can hear this invisible horse on the road. You can hear tapping at the windows. And if you look real closely, you can see her. She sits there braiding her hair. Braiding her hair.
So creepy.
Yeah, kind of creepy. All right, so do you think the author wrote this poem to be a love poem?
Yes.
Or to be a ghost story? Both, okay. Yes, he intended it to be a legend, about these ghosts, but the reason they became legend is because they had this really good story behind them. So is this typical of the poems that we're used to reading? Okay, no. Sometimes we don't like poetry because we think, I don't understand it. People are always asking me, what does this mean? What does that mean? This one is pretty straightforward. A narrative poem tells a story. All right. Short story has setting, characters, plot. Raise your hand, please, if you can tell me the setting of The Highwayman. What is the setting of this story? Sophia. At an inn. Good. What country are we talking about?
England.
England. Okay, very good. Characters. Who are the characters of the story? Yedida.
The Highwayman, Tim and Beth.
Highwayman, Tim and Bess. Then we have minor characters being
British.
the British soldiers. We don't know them by name, just the redcoats. Good. And then our plot is man loves girl. Girl sacrifices herself for man. Man sacrifices himself for her memory. And ghosts live on. All right. So now we want to work, if you'll take out your, if you haven't looked at it yet, your handout, that is for the character sketches. So remember with the character sketch, we want to find 3 things. What a person looks like, if it tells us, what a person does, and what you think a person feels or is thinking. Taylor? Okay, you need a handout? Good. All right, did everybody get their computers moved that needed to plug them in? We're all set over here with chargers? Yes, ma'am. We're going to get there. All right, now one thing we also want to be practicing that you've gone through before, that's part of our Common Core standards, is that we want textual evidence. There are 2 ways we provide that. A longer method is where you have to actually put in quotation marks a quote from the poem. We're not doing that. You did that on your story maps last week. Today we're doing it what we would call, you're going to cite where it's from. So when it asks you, let's look at Bess first. And let's look at how does Bess look. The first thing we find out about her is that she has what? Okay? She has long black hair, so we write that down. She has long black hair. Are we quoting from the story? Or from the poem? No, we don't have to put it in quotes. We're not quoting a whole line. She just has dark hair. Dark, long hair. Not the page number. When we're working with a poem, we want to cite what line it is. If you look to the left of the poem, in your e-text there, those tiny little numbers, those number the lines. They go by, I think in your text, they go by every 5, 10, 15. Okay, so you find the line of the poem that says she had dark hair. And just next to that statement on your paper, you put the line number. Okay, who found the line number for she has dark hair? Did you find it?
I think it's like 17 or 16.
Okay, 17 or 16 depending on, saw someone earlier, they cut the line in half on theirs. Did you find it?
17?
If you use the line plaiting a dark red love knot into her long black hair, that is 18. Okay, but there are several other lines that talk about her dark hair, so depending on which one you're using, any one of those line numbers would be fine. All right, so for your assignment there for the character sketches, you want to provide the information that is given. Who is the character we know the least about? Tim. Okay, we have the physical description. Do we know that he told the redcoats?
Yes.
Ooh. Does the poem say it?
No.
No, but can we speculate or infer that he did? Because we know the highwayman didn't tell on himself. We know Bess didn't tell on him. And the only other person that heard the conversation was him. So you could write that down as one of his actions. So for Tim, we really don't have any other actions, so you'll have just that one. Okay, so we want to try to get at least 2 things in each category per
What line
person.
Wait, what did you say for 2?
But that's a good question. Park says, what line number would we put? We won't have a line number for that one because that's our speculation on what we feel like might have happened. All right, so
What did you say? What did he do?
what does he do? We think he possibly told the redcoats. Okay, now what we're going to do is we are running short on time.